Look like Michael Moore. Alright, so if you guys have seen my videos over maybe the past year or so, I normally use this microphone. This is the Rode PodMic. It's a dynamic microphone that I have hooked up to an audio interface, and then I sync it up with the camera when I'm editing so that you get better quality sounding audio. And this is what I normally use. A little extra workaround, and nobody wants to do that. And that's where Movo comes in. Movo Photo, you might know him from this hat right here, because that's what they sent me when they sent this microphone over. And they also sent me this microphone over in the past. This is the Movo VXR10 Plus, and since they've sent it to me, it is always mounted on my camera anytime I'm recording. Even though I use this microphone as my main microphone, this is always just attached to the camera just in case anything goes wrong with this one. That look ridiculous. So though I normally record with the PodMic, what you're hearing right now is the brand new Movo DoubleMic, which was sent to me over for review. And guys, I may have worked with Movo multiple times on a couple of videos in the past, but this is of course an unbiased review, and I'm not paid for this at all. This is not a paid video. It's not sponsored technically, other than, you know, the fact that they sent me a free microphone to test out for you guys. No bias here. Movo makes some good stuff. What can I say? So yes, the audio you're hearing now is from the Movo DoubleMic. This is what it sounds like with me about more than arm's length away, just a little bit. By the way, I do have my GH4 set to -6 decibels, so I think it sounds good. What do you guys think? Obviously, the closer a microphone is, depending on the microphone, then the better it's going to sound. And here's what you get in the box. You get, of course, the DoubleMic itself with an attached 3.5mm coiled cable, a shock mount, a hard shell case, and not one but two small foam windscreens, as well as two very small dead cat windscreens. And that is because, in case the name didn't give it away, the DoubleMic has two microphones. It's got two capsules on it, so it's like you're getting two mics in one. It's a win-win. It has a front-facing capsule, which is what you're hearing now, as well as a rear-facing capsule for those of you who may just need a microphone in the back of the camera. Now for some technical jargon that I don't understand, but luckily Movo provided a little spec sheet, so if you guys understand, here we go. The capsules are both condenser microphones that I do understand, and they both have a super cardioid polar pattern. It has a frequency response of 45 Hz to 18 kilohertz, so that's cool. And then the front microphone has this sensitivity, and the rear has this sensitivity. It has two toggles, one to switch between the front and rear capsules on the microphone, and one to switch between recording on a camera or a smartphone. And maybe you want to switch between getting audio from what's in front of the camera to what's in the back of the camera. Maybe you're pointing your camera at something and you want the microphone to pick you up better, but you don't want to have to turn the microphone around. This is what it sounds like with the front-facing capsule recording me right now. I'm just gonna get up and walk around. This is what it sounds like with me behind the camera with the rear capsule basically off. I think it's still on a little bit, but it's very low. Now that I have the switch flipped to the rear, you could probably hear me a little bit clearer, a little more loudly. But if I sit in front of the camera with the rear switch flipped and the capsule mainly aiming behind the camera, now you probably could barely hear me. It also has a headphone jack built into the microphone itself. However, don't get too excited. This is not going to let you monitor your audio, and it only works on smartphones and tablets. What it does do is let you listen back to the audio you just recorded by playing it back on your smartphone or tablet, but it's not going to do that on a camera. If your camera does not have a headphone jack already, this is not adding a headphone jack to your camera. And that's not really a fault of the microphone. It has more to do with the internals of the 3.5mm microphone jack built into the camera. It just doesn't have the stuff in it, most likely, to become a headphone jack. It's just, that's how microphones and cameras and everything work. So it's just more of a warning if you're expecting to buy this and add a headphone jack to your camera. It doesn't work like that. So in addition to the toggle switch that changes between the front and rear of the camera, there's also one to change between recording off of an actual camera and a smartphone or tablet. So I'm going to hook up my iPhone 12 mini to the Movo smartphone mount thing that they sent me in a previous video. So I'm going to take the microphone, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take the phone, I'm going to take all that, I'm going to put it together and we're gonna test it out. Okay, so now I have the microphone plugged into my iPhone. It's this whole thing because the iPhone doesn't have a headphone jack, so I have it plugged into one of those adapters. If you still have one of those laying around, then you can use this thing very easily. You're gonna need one for an external mic anyway. I can't hear myself right now recording this, but if I were to stop this video and play it back, I can hear the audio through the headphone jack on the microphone. So though it's not the same as monitoring, it is at least useful for, if you want to listen to your recording through headphones and not through the phone speakers. It's a nice little workaround, a nice little way of just kind of simplifying the workflow of playing back your recording. I do like how it sounds listening to the playback on the phone. It sounds clear, it sounds good. Obviously the phone is only about an arm's length away from me. I am in a room that is not sound treated. These panels right here that you see in the background are not sound treatment at all. They're just hollow plastic shells that go on the wall. This way is just the bigger part of the room, so I'm speaking into what would be echoey. I have fans off. You might hear my wife working in the back. You might hear like my dehumidifier, maybe. I don't hear anything in the playback, so let me know in the comments if it sounds good for you on the smartphone, in case you would be using this on your smartphone. And we're back here. The double mic is facing me. It's on the GH4 that I'm recording on. So obviously when I was recording on the smartphone, where it was actually a little bit less than arm's length away, I think it sounded better. In my unprofessional opinion, two negatives that I would find with this microphone are the shock mount. It's not the greatest. I mean, it does the job as a shock mount. It's just sort of a somewhat soft, flexible piece of plastic. My VXR10 Pro Plus, I always forget, but it too has the same exact type of shock mount. If you ever need to take the microphone off of the shock mount or put it back on, it can be quite difficult because the opening of the shock mount is really tight and it gets really small like this. So if you ever have to put it back on, it's a little bit harder than it probably should be. And it does the job as a shock mount, but there's better ones out there. One thing that concerns me is the fact that the cable on the microphone is attached. It's not detachable at all. So if anything ever goes wrong, if the cable starts to fray or it breaks, anything like that, you can't just go out and buy another cable and plug it into the microphone like you could with the VXR10 Pro. It's on the microphone right there. But that, ladies and gentlemen, this that you're listening to right now is the Movo DoubleMic. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Did you like this video? Maybe watch another one of my reviews of anything else that I've done on this channel, whether it be camera and microphone related or not. I've got an affiliate link in the description if you want to check out the microphone. And for now, if you are new here, I normally do like keyboard reviews and stuff. Sometimes I cover video games, which is weird on a channel called The Portly Gamer. Things have changed on the channel, what can I say? But subscribe, I do have more content on the way. I've got exciting new products that have been sent to me coming up in videos that I'm working on for you and your enjoyment. So like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Skadoodle.